Thank you once again for being here. I'm a little irritated that the State Department is not here. This is an important topic. Sure, they don't have all the information yet, but they should at least show up. And it is ironic that the Russian government helped us get a witness here to help us from that perspective. Mr. Coble, you may be the last person in the State Department that worked on this issue. Maybe that's why you're the only one here today. But I do have some concerns. I think we've learned that radical Islamic jihadists do not come from a certain one-place area in the world. They come from all over the world, and some are homegrown. Chechnya is one of those areas that we need to focus on, and we need to work with the Russian government on what has taken place there, because what takes place there obviously has been taking place here as well, with the influence and a red line from Dagestan to the United States as far as what criminal activity, terrorist activity is taking place in our own country. It's interesting that if Dagestan is a place where it's known that that is a haven for jihadist philosophy and that it's growing, why we would not be concerned about someone that's in the United States going to that area for 6 months. I mean, what was he doing for 6 months? Who would this person, the older brother, let's call him, could he have been meeting with to get an influence on Al-Qaeda or from Al-Qaeda jihadist movements? Enlighten me on that. I can tell, Mr. Goebel, you want to start.
I just want to suggest that one of the insights that Americans have brought to the appearance of terrorism is that it's often bred in failed states where there are no political institutions to run things. It is worth noting that a week ago, the new acting president of Dagestan, Ramazan Abdullatipov, described his republic as a failed state, as a state where political and legal institutions did not work and where it could not control the situation. This opens the door to the kinds of things we've seen elsewhere. Failed states, states that cannot control their own population, that cannot operate as a state normally does, inevitably open spaces which are exploited by radicals of various kinds. And there are places, I am absolutely sure, in Highland Dagestan where no outside official has ever been. It is that kind of a place, both topographically and demographically. So the possibility of someone going there for 6 months and not being exposed to radicals in one way or another strikes me as slim to none, and that's why I've been—
It's not the place you would go fishing. You
among
take a fishing
other
trip from
things,
the United States.
That's right.
Over there.
And it is also a place where you would expect that someone who went that had the troubled biography this gentleman did would end up being an object of interest of not the right kind of people were he there. I'm much more concerned about the 6 months in Dagestan than the fact that the man is an ethnic Chechen.
Let me reclaim my time because I don't have but a minute and a half left. Would you think that maybe we ought to be concerned about that, especially if the Russian government says, hey, this guy gives us they tell us 2 times that this is somebody that we ought to be concerned about, and all of a sudden he comes back to the United States. Maybe a customs official knew it, maybe he didn't. But wouldn't you think in the area of intelligence that ought to raise a red flag? This is not something that should have slipped under the rug, just snuck in. Dr. Albert, I'll let you just weigh in on that question.
It definitely poses a concern if we didn't communicate properly that he was visiting the area to Dagestan. I want to address the original point also of who could this person have been meeting with in Dagestan that would pose a threat, and this is particularly the organization known as Shariat Jamaat, which is could be a subset of the—
How large is that organization?
It's not very large, but it is probably the most—
How large? Give me some numbers.
Maybe less than 1,000 individuals, but that's just a reasonable conjecture. I don't have much evidence of that, but probably around 1,000 individuals. They're actively recruiting throughout the area as well. it could be larger because it's attached to the Caucasus Emirate as well. It's a confederation of alliances around there.
I'm sorry, Dr. Albert, I need to interrupt you for one last question. Is the influence, the radical jihadist movement, let's just use that phrase, in Dagestan, is it on the increase, or is it decreasing? I know it's something that the Russian government's concerned about. Is it something we should be concerned about as well? Is it on the increase? That's my last question.
Yes, it's on the increase in Dagestan, and it's something we should be concerned about.
All right. I'm out of time. Sorry, Doctor. I'll yield back.